Going electric is supposed to be the future. But for a huge number of drivers, it is still a hassle. You might not have a driveway to charge on, you might worry about range on a long trip, or you simply might not want to rethink how you refuel your car. So what if you could get the smoothness and the fuel savings of an electrified car with absolutely none of the charging headaches? That is exactly the promise of the new Opel Mokka Hybrid. It is one of the most stylish small crossovers on the road, and it might be the easiest electrified car to actually live with. Let us start with the obvious, because the Mokka has always been about the way it looks. That bold front end, with its sleek, blacked-out face stretching across the nose, gives it a genuinely premium, almost concept car presence that stands out in a sea of bland little crossovers. It is crisp, modern, and confident, available in punchy colors, and it looks far more expensive than it is. This is a car bought with the heart as much as the head, and on style alone, it is one of the most desirable things in its class. But good looks only get you so far, so the question is whether the substance backs it up. Inside, the design-driven theme continues, with a clean, modern, driver-focused cabin built around a pair of digital screens. It feels smart and contemporary, the materials are decent for the class, and everything falls easily to hand. It is a genuinely pleasant, well-designed place to sit. But here is the first honest catch. The Mokka prioritizes style over practicality, so while the front is comfortable and airy, the rear seats are a little tight for taller adults, and the boot is on the smaller side for the class. Therefore, if maximum space is your top priority, this may not be the small SUV for you. This is a car that asks you to trade a little practicality for a lot of style. If sharp, honest reviews of stylish small cars are your thing, do subscribe. But the real story here is under the bonnet, and it is the clever bit. The Mokka Hybrid uses what is called a 48-volt hybrid system. In simple terms, it pairs a small, efficient, turbocharged petrol engine with a compact electric motor built into the gearbox, and a small battery that charges itself entirely as you drive and brake. You never, ever plug it in. What that gives you is the best of both worlds for everyday driving. At low speeds, pulling out of a junction or crawling through traffic, the car can often run on silent electric power alone. The electric motor smooths out the gear changes and gives the petrol engine a helping hand, which cuts your fuel consumption by around 20% compared to a normal petrol Mokka. So you get quieter, smoother, more efficient motoring with genuine electric assistance, and you fuel it exactly like a normal car. For a lot of people, that is the perfect, no-compromise stepping stone. Now, you do need to keep your expectations realistic. This is a mild hybrid, not a plug-in, so it cannot drive for miles on electricity alone, and the electric boost, while welcome, is modest. The performance is adequate rather than exciting, with a 0 to 60 time of around 9 seconds. This is a car tuned for relaxed, efficient cruising, not for thrills. And as we said, you trade some rear space and boot room for that gorgeous styling. But none of those are surprises. They are simply the nature of this kind of car. So, the verdict on the Opel Mokka Hybrid. If you want a small crossover that looks like $1 million, that gives you real, tangible fuel savings and smooth electric assistance, and that asks absolutely nothing of you in terms of charging or changing your habits, this is a deeply appealing little thing. You give up some outright space and any pretense of sportiness, but you gain style, efficiency, and total ease of ownership. For the buyer who loves the idea of going electric but is not ready for the reality of it, the Mokka Hybrid might just be the smartest and best-looking way to dip a toe in. It is electrification without the anxiety.